Hi, Dr. Karen Can here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And today I thought I'd take the video using my iPad. Since I do have that lovely scratch on my iPhone and my selfie stick is not charged. So we're going to try this on the iPad to see how it goes. And you know, a couple people were concerned because a couple of weeks ago, my video voice kind of went weird, and they thought maybe it was entities or something like that, but I didn't test that. I just tested that my camera and my XP computer are super old. So, so we're trying with a different device, see if that works better for all of us. So this week I wanted to talk to you about a few things. The first thing is about your empathy signal. Now, what do I mean by empathy signal? Well, as we keep ascending and our vibrations improve or increase, I should say, we will become more empathetic. It's sort of like one of our superpowers as humans. So instead of sticking to the five senses, we are going way beyond the five senses and are able to sense things beyond our natural normal five senses. So you're going to be able to feel, see, and hear things that you might not have done before. And really what happens is your body doesn't really know what to do with this information. So when I feel something that isn't mine and I need to process that energy, I get what I call an empathy signal. So for me, my body, my empathy signal is a couple of different things, and sometimes it changes over time, but the number one thing for me is constipation. So at least after all these weeks and months, I think I've figured it out. So when I get constipated, it isn't because I don't have enough hydration. It isn't because I'm low on magnesium. It isn't because of food intolerance like it used to be. It isn't because my ileocecal valve necessarily is unhappy. It isn't because I'm eating not enough fat, or that my gallbladder isn't working and my bile isn't good enough. These are all the reasons that are common among people with constipation, and it's not because my thyroid is underactive. So I've covered almost most of the major bases and players when it comes to constipation. When I get constipation, it's because that is my body's signal that I'm sensing something that needs to shift, some sort of energy from someone or something else. And what I've discovered for me personally is that when I need to do a clearing for Mother Earth, her and I are like this, even though I'm not much of an outdoorsy person, which is funny. But anyway, but her and I are like this, and my mom is actually, we're really, really close too. So sometimes I'll feel my mom's stuff in my body, but definitely Mother Earth stuff in my body. So what happens is, when the ascension, upgrades occur, sometimes I will suddenly become constipated. That's usually my sign that yes, we've had another ascension upgrade, and two, what is it now that needs to be cleared that we have access to clearing now. So when I get constipated, I actually check in with Mother Earth. What is it that I can do for you? And my other empathy signal, although this is less common, thank goodness, is a migraine. So I don't get headaches or migraines very often, but when I do, it'll kind of start kind of up here and here, and then it'll kind of spread and it'll go down my neck, and then it'll be really super uncomfortable, and I just feel like I have to lie down. And in the past, when I didn't really know what was going on, I would just kind of sleep it off, and then I'd be better in the morning. But I have come to find out that if at the beginning of this migraine, I start asking questions and ask, of Mother Earth, is this something you need me to do? And I get a yes, because her and I are soul destiny partners. Now, you and her may not be, so this may not be an appropriate thing for you to do, but it is appropriate for me to do Mother Earth healing. So that happened to me Thursday, and I was so busy with things going on. Yes, I was on vacation, but that particular night I was going to teach a class on clearing entities and ghosts, and I thought, oh no, I feel horrible. And I was so busy I didn't have time to ask until somebody canceled for my schedule, and then I had literally 15 minutes free where I could just start testing and seeing what's going on. And so a large majority of the migraine is from some sort of energetic invasion or imbalance in Mother Earth relating to some extraterrestrial issues and animals were in trouble. So I ended up clearing, or at least helping to guide the clearing of these energies, and soon afterwards I started feeling better, and by dinner time I felt pretty much back to my normal self with a tiny little bit of headache left, and then by the time the class rolled around at 8 p.m. I was up to, just totally okay and fine. And I got to tell you, when you get migraines like that, I'm so grateful that they go away. But now I know that's my empathy signal. So you may have a different empathy signal, and it may have nothing to do with Mother Earth. For some of you that are indigos or earth angels, it may be something related to Mother Earth. You may be proxying for Mother Earth, even though you don't know that you are. So you may want to muscle test and check that to see if you are. Or you may be feeling other people's stuff, because as we get more empathetic, sometimes it's people that you deal with every day or even think of. They don't even have to be in your field of energy currently. It's somebody that you think of, you can automatically start feeling their stuff. So my other empathy signal recently, which I think will go away soon, is itchiness. So I will start talking to someone, it might be a patient or a friend, and I will start getting itchy. And usually it's something of theirs that I am feeling. And so when I do the clearing, it usually completely resolves within a few minutes and I'm fine. So you may want to check in and figure out what is your empathy signal. So mine is constipation, that's a biggie, and more recently it is itching, sometimes hot flashes. So yours may be completely different. It may be headaches, but it may be anxiety. That's the most common one, is anxiety or depression. Out of the blue, everything's going fine, all of a sudden you feel anxious or depressed or out of it, and you don't really know why. It may be because you're feeling other people's stuff. So here's a good question to ask yourself. Is any part of me, am I or any part of me resonating or empathizing with someone, something, or some place that's causing X symptom, whatever it is? And if you get a muscle test, yes, then you can ask, who it is and whether or not it's for your highest and greatest good to process it for that person or that place or that thing, and it may not be. So if it's not, then what you want to do is you want to shore up your boundaries with that thing. So sometimes I will, start getting itchy or something like that with some random person that I'm talking to, and then I will quietly check in, and I'll notice that, my boundaries with that person right now are only 65% happy. And again, it's because of the ascension. We just tend to have thinner boundaries temporarily. So then I just go ahead and do Topocan healing, and I just command that boundary be restored to 100% optimal. And usually that does the trick, and then I stop itching, and they can deal with their stuff, I can deal with my stuff. If it's not my role to heal them, then I just shore up my boundaries, and I'm fine. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to talk to you today, is just figuring out what your empathy signal is. So I'm sure your intuitive voice is going to talk to you about it. So at least you know that you're not going crazy. Sometimes the stuff is just not your stuff, and it's okay. Sometimes you're supposed to transform it, like I'm supposed to help Mother Earth transform her issues, and sometimes you're not. And if it's not, then you just shore up your boundaries, and then it's fine. The second thing I wanted to talk to you is about your food. Now, I was going to title this Spiritual Medicine Digest, Fear Not GMOs, or Genetically Modified Organisms. So there's a lot of things in the Organic Consumers News about the DARK Act, D-A-R-K, denying the American right to know what's in their food act, and unfortunately it passed through the House and the Senate, meaning that under our very noses the wonderful GMO labeling law that Vermont spearheaded may be basically watered down to something that isn't very useful to consumers. So I think it's very interesting that for the average person, they have no clue that their rights are being denied. There's like over 90% of Americans want GMOs labeled, so they have a choice. And this is not your average, farmer hybridization that's occurred over, hundreds of years. No, this is high-tech stuff, and it is mainly so that these companies can sell their pesticides. That's what they want to get their profits from, is the pesticides. It really has nothing to do with, feeding the earth, and although they like to say those kinds of things. But So if you want to know the truth, go to the Institute of Responsible Technology and you can get educated there. So they even have a quiz, which is really cool. How GMO savvy are you? So here's the thing. A lot of people that are in the know are now very worried about, these things not being labeled properly, and it's going to be hard to read. You're going to have to do some sort of scanning device, and what if your smartphone doesn't work? You're not going to know what's in your food. This fear is something that we don't really need nor want. So, yes, our rights may be trampled on. Yes, there may be a lot of other violent and other news that prevents us from paying attention to some of these basic rights because they're a wonderful distraction to us to get us in fear and in anxiety. And when you're in fear, you're not in love, and you attract entities and you actually become a target. So you need to be very careful and wary about what your emotions are doing. So you don't need to fear GMOs, even if you go out to eat. So I was in Canada recently with my family, and we go out to eat a lot in Canada because my parents don't really cook a lot with so many people. So what you can do is check the vibrational frequency of your food. Now, instead of going, oh my God, this must be made of GMOs, it's going to be horrible and it's going to make me sick, instead, just be conscious and aware that, okay, yeah, these probably aren't the best ingredients, but there's something you can do even before you get to the restaurant. You could bless and send love to everyone making your food. That makes a huge difference. You can bless and be grateful for all the animals and plants that make up your food. And when you get there, what you can do is you can check the vibration of each dish. I usually put my hand over each dish and then I muscle test with the other hand how high a vibration, 100 being optimal, that particular food is. So say I get something that's under 75. Usually most quality food is around 77 or so. Most organic food rate. Oh, my legs are getting a little numb. I gotta sit differently here. So they're usually above 75, 76%. And if you get something that's really high quality, made with love, really great ingredients, then it's gonna hit over the 85 range. So if it's under 77, you can use your Tolpacan healing. Just put your hand or intention, over the whatever food or dish you want to heal, and just command with, love. It is commanded that this food's vibration be raised to 100% optimal or restored to 100% optimal in the highest and best way in all directions of time. Thank you. And then retest the vibration of your food. Usually it jumps at least 5 to 10 points. If you get stuck somewhere and you want it higher than that, you can always do the second step, which is just to say it is now commanded that all hidden and apparent underlying imbalance is preventing this food and all its ingredients from being completely restored to 100% optimal vibration. Now be healed in the highest and best way possible. Thank you. And then recheck the vibration of your food. And so you're literally doing a healing on your food. So instead of being scared about GMOs in your food, even if they're in your food, neutralize those frequencies. You can do that with the Tolpacan healing. You can do that with Reiki. You can do that with pure intention and blessing and prayers. You can ask your angels, whoever's in charge. You don't even have to know who. Say, whoever's in charge, of this, please shift the vibration of this food to bless it. So there really is no reason for you to be afraid of GMOs. Now, do we want to still label them and have our rights respected? Absolutely, because it is for the highest good. Sometimes it is a lot of work to check the vibration of every single thing you put into your mouth or touches on your body. We want to make it easier for everyone. Not everyone's going to know how to change the vibration of their food or what goes on their bodies, but you can. So there's no fear needed in the equation. We still do want to do what's right for the majority of people, and that is to eventually, get rid of these kind of frankenfoods from our food system, which I believe is going to happen. But just more people need to be awake, and you don't have to be upset, you don't have to be fearful, you don't have to be angry. You can shift the vibration of your food now. In fact, the vibration of most things you can shift now. The higher vibration you are, the more internal work you do, the stronger your power levels are. So hopefully if you were some of the folks that were on my Clearing Ghosts and Entities class Thursday, we had a really great time. You learned 3 different ways of healing ghosts and entities. And if you're not part of the From Heartache to Joy Telesummit series, it's really great to be a part of that. So you can go to FromHeartacheToJoy.com, put your name and email address in, get on their mailing list. You will know about all the wonderful free sessions they have with healers, and my launch is going to be in October, and you can always check with support and have them add you to the VIP or the Facebook group, where there are special offers almost every week with free workshops like the one I did on Thursday for the folks there, or even free sessions for healing. And just so you know, I have a second backstage pass coming up to the VIP group, I believe sometime next month, where I will be offering 5 free sessions, and the focus is really going to be on energy healing and clearing entities and non-beneficial energies. So if you're interested in that, you may want to check in with the wonderful support folks at From Heartache to Joy. It is, I know it's a rare opportunity to get it free, but if you have not already experienced the Topocan healing, this is your chance to do that and win one of those 5 free sessions. And this Monday past, you may or may not have caught that really cool radio show with Anahata, Holly Hollowell, and myself, with the Anahata codes. So if you have not, go ahead and listen to the replay, because we did 3 downloads for people. 1, 2, yes, I think 3 downloads for people, 3 or 4, something like that. And you can receive those energies just by listening to and following the instructions on the show. So I happily urge you to listen to that show if you have not already. Now, next week's show is going to be, or the next show is going to be about vaccines. Now, we cannot get the film Vaxxed yet in our area. We're a pretty small town, and eventually we'll be able to purchase that film and watch it in our own homes. But right now they're still doing the film screenings all over America, and they've almost hit all 50 states. And but we are going to be speaking with a vaccine expert who's a medical doctor, and like me was taught that vaccines are good for you and they have prevented a lot of disease. And if you look at the charts that we were given in medical school, it kind of looks like, you know, they work. And she did a lot of research on her own because of her own curiosity about vaccination. So if you have any questions about the vaccinations, their efficacy or their side effects or dangers, please join us for the upcoming show on my Blog Talk Radio show. You can check out the schedule at blogtalkradio.com/Dr. Karen, or on my blog. Just follow my blog and subscribe to my email newsletter, and you'll get alerted whenever we do a radio show. So that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to share with you this week. So check in your empathy signal and do your food healing. I think you'll definitely feel better. I know I definitely feel a difference when I have done healings on my food, because my body is so sensitive, being clairsentient. If there is any negative, non-beneficial energy attached to that food, like an old curse or some sort of funky, vibration, I will get some sort of symptom. Now, I can clear it after the fact, but how much better is it to actually enjoy our food and have it go down well? And I think this is the first time that I've been to Canada eating all that sugar and MSG and GMO foods and whatever, and my digestion, my ability to poop, has been awesome. So, had a couple little slowdowns one day, but other than that, it's been great, and that was related to the ascension, not to what I was eating. So, onward and upward. This is kind of exciting. So, blessings to you, and make sure you subscribe to the video below if you have not already on my YouTube page, and we'll talk to you next week. Love you all. Bye for now.